So today we're going to talk about different types of surface piercings. So we have some examples here. This is going to be like a staple bar. Both of these are a 90-degree angle. They also have ones that are like a 45-degree angle. And then we don't use those here, so I don't have an example, but I will put a picture up on the screen for you to take a look at. These are the only types that we use. We actually barely ever use these anymore. I actually prefer to do dermal anchors over a surface bar because they do last a lot longer. I would say surface piercings are more of a temporary piercing, as any sort of trauma could cause them to reject. Our bodies are not meant to have foreign objects in there. Our body naturally wants to either absorb a foreign object or push it out. So if a piercing does reject, that is just your body doing its job. So I'm going to go over these three types here, and I will put in some examples of things you should not get as a surface piercing on the screen as well in a little bit. So the best option for surface piercings is going to be a dermal anchor. So this is how the anchor looks. Hopefully you can see. There is a foot or anchor, I call it a foot, that has little holes in it. That's where your skin grows through. So this portion is underneath your skin, and the only thing you see is the top. So it looks like this when you have it in. These can be taken on and off, so you can change the tops to different colors, shapes, sizes, and you can also take them out completely. We have clear ones you could put on if you need them not to be shown at work. So if you just leave nothing, all you see is this tiny little dot here of metal, which most people can't actually see, or they just think it's like a freckle. So those are my favorite option. We rarely do surface piercings anymore. I feel like they're a little bit outdated, especially the really thick surface bars. So these are two different types of 90-degree angle surface bars. You can see this one is a 14 gauge all the way around, so it does take up a lot of surface area. I find that they reject a lot faster than the flat bar, but these are harder to take in and out because the way that they heal, they're not really meant to be moved in and out. You can remove them without having any help. You can just pull them out, but your body is going to heal this channel here that thin and this wide. So where this one is the same all the way around, they're a little bit easier to take in and out if you're wanting to remove them. However, I don't recommend taking surface piercings in and out in general. They take a very long time to heal, these types of surface bars, because this entire area has to heal underneath your skin. So it takes a while. You heal from the outside in. So even if they look like they're healed here, it takes a very long time for the center part to heal. With a dermal piercing, it does not take as long to heal because there is much less surface area that needs to heal. So it's just a very tiny area. These are definitely more secure in the beginning because there's nothing that needs to grow into it to secure it. So with the surface anchor, your skin does need to grow through it in order to secure it into your skin. So you do have to be really careful with the dermals for the first couple of days while your skin is trying to grow through there, so like a week or so. You can change the tops of these as well. These are just two examples. These are little balls. I do not prefer doing this style just because it kind of digs into the skin sometimes. Flat bar with the flat gem is a lot better. Again, almost all surface piercings end up rejecting at some point. Dermals do last a lot longer. I would say surface bars probably last a year to 3 years if you're lucky, and dermal anchors can last up to forever. I've seen people that have had them for 10 to 20 years. It just really depends. The only thing that is going to risk your dermal coming out or rejecting is if you catch it on something. And you can pop it out that way, or you can just tear it and then your body will start to lift and reject it. Scarring, a lot of people have issues with scarring with surface piercings. Generally with a dermal, you are just left with a little small scar about the size maybe of this little ball here, depending on if you did have some rejection or not. The biggest scar I've ever seen from a dermal is like the size of the foot of here, so it's about that size, and that's because they let it reject fully. The more you let it reject, the bigger the scarring is going to be. With the surface bars, you do have a lot more scarring if you allow them to reject, obviously, because there's a larger surface area. So if you do notice that you're starting to reject a surface piercing, it's always best to go get it removed right away so that you don't have as much scarring, or the scarring can be as minimal as possible. So these are the 3 types of surface piercings that we do here at Sparkle and Shine. Like I said, I always do recommend a dermal over a surface piercing, but some people prefer them because they are afraid of the dermals needing to be removed, which I understand, but it is a very simple process to take them out. We remove them here. You can also get them removed at a doctor's office and they will numb it for you. I feel like the scarring is less when we do it just because we don't cut, and most doctor's offices do cut to take them out. So you're left with like a little X scar. But that's just some doctor's office. Obviously some places are going to be better than others. So if you have any questions on surface piercings, please feel free to leave all your questions below and I'll answer as many as I can. So dermals definitely heal faster and they last longer. Surface bars take a lot longer to heal and they don't last as long. You can get almost the exact same look with a dermal as you can with the surface bar by using the gems, because all you're going to see is the gems. So we just use 2 dermals. It is a little bit more expensive because you're getting 2 instead of the 1, but they are worth it because they do last longer. Something you never want to put in a surface piercing is a curved barbell. I have seen many people come in with curved barbells in their surface piercing. They rarely last. And this is just basic curved barbell. Those are going to reject the absolute fastest because it's curved into your skin. So it's automatically already trying to move around. Another thing with surface bars, hopefully you can see this. So when you're a piercer, say this is your arm, and you wanted a surface bar on your arm. So we mark the location that you want your surface bar to go, and it has to match exactly where the little dots are. I mean, I didn't measure that, but you know, they need to be exactly where they are. So when you put this underneath the skin, the little balls will be where the dots are. Now what happens when you move, your skin stretches. So if you say you put it on your wrist and you move your wrist, well, your skin stretches around. So they're constantly putting pressure on the edges because of movement. So that's one of the reasons why they reject quickly. With the dermal, they're sitting there freely. So if you're moving around, nothing is causing irritation around the edges. If you're considering getting a surface piercing, I highly recommend going with a dermal. Again, they just are much, much better and they last a lot longer. Hope you guys have a great day and learn something new. We'll see you next week.